What's up?
Yeah, what's up? I'm Ayana Taylor, and today I'm interviewing Cam Patrick. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you today?
Good. It's so good seeing you again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we've been talking on social media, just staying connected, and it's just been so amazing. I know Cam Patrick from doing background work. I'm trying to remember what was the thing we were doing. What were we on? What was it?
Okay, so we were running track.
Yes.
We were running track.
Yes,
but it was for no, it wasn't 13 Reasons Why. It was
Atypical.
That's what it was. Okay,
Yes.
it was like very similar genre
Yes,
or field show.
Atypical.
That's right.
We were track athletes, and we were checking in, and I sat right in front of you, and then we just started talking. It was so fun.
We were just bored and trying to work.
Bored out of our minds. But I was like, he's so insightful. Like, I loved your page, I loved your profile, I loved all the stuff that you were doing.
Yeah.
So Cam, he's an actor. He's also a cinematographer. Tell us all the things that you do, Cam. Other than that.
That's kind of
the primary.
That's the primary focus. Is like cinematography and film coloring is where I bring in a lot of my income, and then also acting is the main focus. Everything else is just kind of like side hustles.
Yeah, side hustles.
To the acting.
Exactly. Feeds into the acting.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that. Well, are you ready for this interview, Cam?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. So my first question I have for you, tell us, where are you from, and how did you end up in Los Angeles?
Okay, that's a very complicated question.
It is very convoluted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just complicated. So I'm originally from around Cincinnati.
Okay.
And so like about 25 minutes from downtown.
Okay.
How I ended up in LA is a very different story.
Oh.
I acted when I was a kid, like a lot of other people. Loved it. My parents told me it was a horrible life decision because I was going.
Your mom said that.
They were like, the industry's going to destroy you. You're going to die. Don't do it.
Oh my
Because I straight up, I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, I think I want to be an actor my whole life. And they were like, no.
Wow.
It was like,
were they former actors? Like, were they? Or
no. So they used to live in Encinitas.
Oh, okay.
So they're from the area. They know the San Diego, LA lifestyle.
They're aware.
Yeah. So this wasn't new to them. I've always wanted to live in San Diego. Anyway, this is gonna get way off subject.
All right.
Anyway, so that happened.
I did Los Angeles.
Yeah, they said bad idea. I said, all right, that's fine. So then I decided I was gonna be a doctor.
Oh, you went all the way left.
I went to school for pre-medicine.
Wow.
3 years into it, I changed my degree.
3 years in. Hey,
I was almost done. I was 4 classes away from finishing my degree. Switched over to public speaking and speech writing.
Okay.
Because I found out that I just had a very good stage presence, and it was much more what I wanted to do. So I was like, I could speech write politically, because that's kind of what I was thinking about doing, but also then go be a motivational speaker.
Okay. I love that.
And then into doing that, I got involved very heavily in campus organization.
Okay.
I started doing a ton of event planning.
Oh.
So.
All right.
While doing event planning, there were the film program. People started coming to some of my events, realized I was good at it. Realized that event planning and being a producer is the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I got pulled in as a producer.
Wow.
I really wanted to do acting. So I picked up a camera. So I heard on a podcast I was listening to that they were learn everything. If you want to be a good actor, you need to know cameras. You need to know what lens that the DP is using, so that you know how to move within that frame, or how to react, or how to be, or how it's going to compress you, or if you look good in that frame length, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Very technical.
Very technical, but it is. But I heard a lot of some of the podcasts I was listening to were interviewing a lot of name actors, and a lot of them said the same thing.
Well, that's interesting. I would not have thought that. But go ahead.
So I learned film to become a better actor.
Yeah.
And then while doing the stage hosting thing, they were like, well, you have a really good stage presence, and you're really good at just being. So let's throw you in front of the camera.
Okay, let's see if you do it.
Yeah, and so they started just throwing me in as a lot of the lead roles and the stuff that they were doing. And so I started working in that, and then fell in love with film.
Oh my god!
And then they were so we kind of built this core group of 7 of us that were going to move out to LA together.
Yeah.
I'm halfway on my trip to LA.
Yeah.
One of this one married couple that was in the group was ahead of me. They were already here for about 3 days.
Okay.
They came with their dogs. It was too hard for them.
Oh.
And they decided they weren't going to stay.
It was too hard after 3 days?
I could not imagine living in a car and staying at hotels and things with their dogs. 2 dogs.
Oh my god.
It was a lot, and they've already been out here before.
Okay.
So they kind of expected. Yeah, and the guy was a film composer, so he has a lot of connections in LA doing film composition, and he's so freaking talented.
Oh, that's awesome.
But anyway, so they left. I didn't realize that they were the leaders of the group, so then everyone else quit. I'm already halfway here. Road tripping with my younger brother, looking at we went to a bunch of national parks. Anyway,
oh my God.
I was just like, no, I'm not giving up. So I came to LA.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Good for you. Despite the obstacles that was already happening en route to California, you still pushed past that. And how long have you been out here now?
3 years.
3 years. Yeah. Congrats. That's awesome. Yeah. And how's it been for you these 3 years? In a nutshell, just like
man, if I could
great, bad, ugly.
How do you nutshell 3 years of your life?
Trying.
All in all. Okay. All in all, it's been really good.
Okay.
A lot of difficulties and trials and things like that, but it has been such a learning and growing experience. It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear
LA's not easy.
It's not.
But if you can survive, it's awesome.
Yeah, and I've been out here a year, going on a year and a half now, and like I've just heard time and time again, it's if you're willing to stay committed and just hang in there and just stay, like knowing you're in it for the long haul, success will find you because people are dropping out left and right. So you just have to stay the path, stay the course. So well, let's jump right into the second question because I feel like this is we have some good momentum going.
Okay.
Tell us what was that one thing? Because I know you were saying you love to act, but what was that turning point? I mean, I know you talked about being the producer and it, having that stage presence.
Yeah.
Was there an inspiration that made you feel like, okay, I want to start this right now, full time, or was it kind of like you realized it as you were getting pulled in?
I think that I have always wanted to do that as like my main focus. Okay. Everything else has always been a side hustle, and I use the word side hustle loosely because I don't like the way some people use it now. Yeah. But it's like it is. But like everything else was to make me a better actor. It's either to make money so I can pay for acting, or just so I know how to act better. Okay. Because as an actor, as anyone on a film set, you are a piece of a puzzle. Right. You are a part of the machine.
Absolutely.
If you don't know how to function within that machine, you can't do your job right.
You can't. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
And then they'll look at you like you're not professional.
Yep.
You have to know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. So, and I think I wanted to get even more specific. So, when you were a little kid, you said you always wanted to act. Was there something that was inspiring you to do that? And then later on, it was like, okay, I want to do this full time? Or like, just kind of walk us through that process. Yeah.
So, this is the way I've described it to a lot of people because it's like every time it always comes back to this. I love two things about acting.
Okay. What's that?
One is I love studying other people. I like being in someone else's life.
Wow. Okay.
So like the first play when I was a kid that I was the lead of, it was like 6th grade or something.
Yeah.
It was the story that this character went through was very impactful and meaningful to me, even at the time as like a kid. And I was learning a lot about how to conduct myself as a human being, watching his struggles and growth, right?
Wow.
Which is why I told my parents I wanted to do it. But the other big thing was after like the couple of performances that we had with it, there were like these burly grown men, imagine like Mr. Clean, right?
Yeah,
big bald dudes that like came up to me afterwards, like not all of them together, obviously intimidating, but but like they came up after it was over, and they all told me something similar along the lines of like how much like the turning point in the play impacted them, or that like they literally were crying after I like delivered the punchline of the film and things like that. So it was like even as a kid realizing that like that you can actually impact people's lives.
You really can.
Being in that character, these people were impacted heavily. Yeah. Like imagine people who don't normally show a lot of emotion telling me that they cried while this thing happened.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like
that is so cool.
Studying someone and then seeing an impact in the work that you're doing.
And one thing I'll say just to add to that, it's amazing how as you dive into these characters and you bring life to them, how much you are connecting to other people, because when people watch that, they're seeing their life's experience, they're seeing their journey reflected through that, like I said, that struggle or whatever, and so it's just like it may hit them in a different way, but like this is the train that you did, because that's happened to me too. I did a showcase for my Meisner, and people were coming up to me afterwards just like, oh my god, like the way you held yourself together, I know how you felt. It was just like, I don't even know nothing about your life story, but the fact that you related to that, like that's chills. So so amazing.
Yeah, and side note, but I love the way it like helps me impact. Like I'm sure this is like this with you as well, but it's like I love deep conversations with people. I love just like talking about people's lives, and through acting, it helps me exercise my empathy. It helps me understand someone else. Absolutely. So like when I'm trying to help someone work through their problem, even if I've never lived through that exact situation they're in, even through acting or my own life experiences, or learning how to relate your life experiences to your acting or to someone else's situation, helps you understand another person's life in a completely different way.
Yeah, and like I said, the empathy just continues to pour out. It's just like an ongoing like love and appreciation. You know, that's so amazing. Oh, so good. So, this is so amazing. I'm loving this. Okay, next question got for you, Cam. Tell us what's a struggle that you're going through right now that you can share with us to help us along our journey.
Man, okay, so right now, I wrote down some notes for this because I was just trying to like figure out something that would be functional, because I feel like a lot of us, we go through a lot of struggles simultaneously. Like it's not like you're never just going through a problem.
No, it's a series.
And if it is one problem, when we put that in quotes, it has so many facets. Yeah. You know, especially if it's enough for you to bring it to mention. Absolutely. But like one thing that I feel like I have been dealing with since being in LA, really, and it's like it's a continual process, is like honestly, it's feeling like you're alone. You know, it's feeling like there's like, if someone's in your corner, they'd leave. You know, if someone,
the moment you grab something, it's like, oh, I have something good. It's just like it's
gone. People here, like in this industry here in LA and life, are just fickle. People are not committed. People are not willing to be dependable. And so one of the biggest struggles that I think I've kind of dealt with is finding my tribe. Is for anyone too. Like it doesn't matter how loving and charismatic and nice you are. It's still just hard to find other people that are dependable. And I hear this from everyone. There's not a soul in LA.
There's a common through line with that.
That I have not heard someone else dealing with the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, you come out here with like the best intentions. You try to do your best, but it really is a way to like self-reflect and be like, okay, am I being that person? Like, cause is there cases where I'm doing that? How can I be more dependable for other people as well? So it's very like, you see people like that, and it almost like challenges you to be like, okay, I'm never gonna do that because that sucked, you know, being on the end of it, you know? So it's a true struggle, and I totally relate with you on that.
Learning from other people's mistakes, especially their mistakes towards you.
Exactly.
Is so important.
It hurts.
It hurts, but it's
let
good.
It hurt. Feel that all the way, and then learn from it. I heard someone said the other day. They said the true mistake is not learning from your mistakes.
Ooh,
that's the true mistake.
Heavy.
Yeah, so it's just like if you're not really like learning from it and feeling that, it keeps happening. It'll find a way to keep happening to you. So, wow. Okay, awesome. Well, like I said, this is great so far, and you gave some amazing advice already. But share with us, what's a piece of advice that you can share with other actors or other creators, other producers, other cinematographers who are out here struggling out in Los Angeles? What's some advice that you can impart with them?
I'd say it's probably along the same veins, except for I want to tag in something else.
Okay.
So we all keep hearing this tagline of make. Yeah. Like everyone's like, just go do it. Just go make something. Just go create something. Just write it, direct it, produce it. Stop that.
He says stop. Why do you say stop?
Because it's, I think, I'd say there's validity to it, but there's also a side of it where people are becoming so driven to make their own content that they're not willing to collaborate.
Say that again. They ain't willing to what?
They're not willing to collaborate.
Collaborate. Yeah. Okay. Tell us about that.
Collaborating is like, it involves trusting someone else.
Exactly.
From what I've noticed, there are too many projects in LA, in the film industry, that fail. Because people want to write it, want to be the lead actor, and want to direct it simultaneously. You can do writing in one of the other two, but if you want to write, direct, and act in a film, you better have 1,000 rehearsal dates. This better be nailed down. You better have that ship tight.
Wow.
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's hard to flip from one thing to the next and really invest in it.
They're two completely different brain sets. Being an actor and a director on set at once, it's so difficult to switch between them.
Technical, creative. Like, it's like you're the vision, the director, your vision, you see it. But as the artist, you let all that stuff go. And you have to be in it. So, that is so true.
Yeah, you have to be here, not everywhere. But as a director, you have to be everywhere. You have to know everyone wants to be a director. A director has to know what everyone on the set's doing and how to help them do their job better.
Wow. Yeah. And as an actor, it's hard to like flip back and like, no, I need to be doing this. It's my, I need to get in this character. So, wow, that's amazing. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Don't try to do everything and try to do your best to collaborate because like just talking with you before we started this interview, he was telling me about his team and like how they're making amazing content and that they're all working together and trying to use their strengths to make it all come together. And so it is so important, like you said, to find your tribe, find people who are passionate, who are dependable, who are willing to work alongside you through thick and thin, through the highs and the lows, like to be committed with you. So that is so important. So important.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. It's building a team. So like the whole thing with don't try to do everything at once is you have to trust other people that they can do something else better than you.
Yeah. Woo! You gotta let the pride go. You gotta let it go.
Because that is how I have constructed building the team that I have now, and that's why I love working with them. Is because most of us are actors, but almost every actor you'll meet has something else they can do on the side.
That's true. That's true.
Even if they're just organizational, and they can be the AD on set when you guys are shooting. All of us have a skill. That's not just acting. We're all talented, or at least have a hobby in another area that would help us do something else on the film set.
Absolutely.
So, like in my group, we've got 3 people who are writers and actors, right? Okay. But one of them is a really good editor. So I'm letting him. He's gonna start doing a lot of our editing.
Yeah. Okay. I love that.
We found someone who can act, but also knows sound tech work.
Okay.
It's just finding a team that's like that.
Finding everybody.
People who want to be, involved, who are excited about it, who can pursue their career through whatever it is you're working on. But like, it's building a team and trusting them to do it. So one of the writers, who's also an actor, wrote a script that we're going to be working on in the next 2 weeks.
I love it. I love it.
Which will be our second one this year already.
Okay, yes.
And he immediately just sent me the script, and he was like, Cam, I want you to work on casting this and doing the directing for it.
Okay.
Because he's learning to let go.
Let go.
He's first off, he's like 10 years older than me and also very talented. Yeah. But he understands that like he can't do everything. Someone else on the set's going to do something else different or better than him, or help him see the whole picture.
Right.
So build your team.
Build your team and let go. That's what it feels like. Build your team and let go. I know it's your baby, but allow your baby to be held by other people who know how to take better care of it in some capacity. In some capacity, not everything.
Filmmaking is collaborative. Yes. We work together, and that's what we got to focus on.
Oh my gosh, Cam. Thank you so much for being on this interview and this channel.
Always.
Wow, this has been so impactful. Like, I'm just so inspired right now. Well, Cam, tell us where we can stay in touch with you. Do you have any social media or website or anything? Plug all that now because I want them to stay connected to all the stuff that you getting ready to do.
Right. So I do both acting and cinematography type work. So the cinematography is under Cam Patrick Cinema. Okay. And then all of the acting is under I Am Cam Patrick.
I Am Cam Patrick.
So you can find me on Instagram with that, or campatrick.com for the cinema stuff, or campatrick.com/actor for my acting stuff.
Hey, he has he's ready for you guys. So if y'all want to collaborate, you want to work with him, want to cast him,
hit me up.
Hit him up.
And I'd love to work with you. Literally anyone.
Yes.
Have an idea, let's make it happen.
And that's what this is about. Like, it's all about, showing your journey, and also if someone's casting, oh my God, that Cam Patrick dude on Ayana's channel, he would be perfect. So it's all about helping and collaborating.
Or just cast her.
Yes. All right, that'd be nice too. That'd be nice too.
You're already watching her show, obviously.
I mean, come on, help me out. But anyways, thank you again.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on here. This was fun.
This was fun.
I'm glad we got to talk about these things, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it afterwards.
Yes. This is ongoing.
This is ongoing, and I'd love to have you in some of our productions.
Yes.
Too, so we'll keep that moving.
Let me know. Let me know. All right, guys. If y'all like this interview, make sure you make sure you share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and be ready for the next one because it's coming soon. Bye.
Hit us up.
We're waiting.
See ya.
We waiting right now.
My phone buzzed.
Oh,
fast.
oh,
They're really fast.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.